time waits for nobody. These opportunities don't like arise every day, so it's like you don't get an opportunity and get prepared for it. You gotta be prepared.
Download the AllStar app. Make your picks for UFC fights, challenge your friends, level up and win prizes. Link in description. Get it now.
All right, we're here on the beautiful island of Phuket, as I always catch James. He's always on the island, and he's got a big fight coming up. But the most important thing, I think, is you being back in Belfast in front of your home crowd. How do you feel about that situation?
Man, it's fucking quality, you know. I think it's been about 6-7 years since I've been back fighting in Belfast, and I think it was about 4 or 5 years before I was fighting in Dublin. So it's been a long time coming home, do you know what I mean? And the last one was out in America and stuff, so it's going to be nice, do you know what I mean? Come back, put it in front of all my family and friends, and looking forward to blowing the roof off the place, bro. Looking forward to it.
For sure, man. And you know, there's been a switch up in the middle of camp. You know, you're supposed to face off against Jeremy Kennedy. Now Jeremy's gonna be fighting for the title on the same night against Pitbull, and you will face Pitbull's teammate, Leandro Higo. You know, how did you feel about the whole switch up, and you know, what was your reaction to it?
I don't give a fuck, man. They can pit whoever they want in front of me, I'm winning. Do you know what I mean? I've just put the work in out here. I've been focused, been training hard. So at the end of the day, whether it's belts, champions, fucking pitbulls, poodles, fucking whatever it is, give me them all. And I'm going to come here to win. I feel like my skill level has really come on. My mindset, my focus especially has come on leaps and bounds. And I feel like no matter what, it didn't make one difference to my training camp. I was ready for whoever anyway, do you know what I mean? So it's just a different kind of body shape in front of me. So I'm going from fighting a big, tall, skinny guy to a small, stocky guy. And one has dangerous submissions and one has dangerous wrestling. So it's just a different kind of pressures, do you know what I mean? But overall skill set, they're not a million miles apart. So it's going to be interesting. It's going to be a good challenge for my brain. It's going to be a smart fight rather than a hard fight. There will definitely times where I'm going to have to dig deep, but from the work that I've been putting in, that's no problem.
You and Higo have some history. You know, it goes back a few years. You guys were matched up once before, and but he's been talking, you know, a lot. What do you think of his banter, man?
To be honest, he's got very bad in English, so he does. Well, he's got better English than I do Portuguese, so respect him. But it's never him that talks shit. It's the fucking little Captain Goggle Eyes, the fucking guy that wears the big stupid swim glasses. Captain America, his coach. It's him that does all the talking for him. And I remember a few months ago, it was about a couple of years ago, to be honest, but we were at a press conference, and fucking he goes always respectful. And then you got this little fucking poodle in his ear chirping. So I walked up into the whole lot of them, and I shook Pitbull's hand, I shook Higo's hand, and I said to the fucking Captain America, if he's going to speak like a fighter, he's going to get treated like one, and if he opens his mouth, it's going to get broken. And man, from that day on, it's been, I think Pitbull and fucking Higo got on to him and was like, listen mate, you better keep your mouth shut, you know what I mean? It's also all respect between us. So there's definitely a beef between me and Higo, but it's nothing but a competitive, respectful beef, and I'm going to settle it March 22nd.
You know, I've said this publicly about trash talk. Like, if you're willing to talk shit, talk trash, you know, you're willing to back it up.
You have to be willing to settle it.
Exactly, anywhere as well.
Anywhere.
Because you're talking shit not in the cage, you're talking shit outside the cage, which means it can actually be handled outside the cage. It doesn't really necessarily have to be, and especially...
Talk shit outside the cage, it'll get handled outside, and if you talk it in there, it'll get handled in there. That's how it rolls, you know what I mean? A lot of them don't want that, but you better be careful what you wish for, you might just get it.
Definitely right. And, you know, when you look at Higo, you know, I mean, he's fought the best of the best. It's not like a guy that just getting signed and just coming in short notice. This guy has been around for a long time, fought for the title. What do you think of him and his skill set?
Yeah, man, he's very, very solid, but it's kind of like he's plateaued about 5 years ago. He's kind of you know what I mean? He kind of plateaued when he got to about 30 years old, and there hasn't been one skill development in his whole game. He's been missing weight a lot, even though he's fighting at bantamweight, missing weight a lot. And for me, it just smells of unsettlement. It feels like his brain kind of wants it, his body just not able to get there. He hasn't took, he's kind of going 2 steps forward, 4 steps back kind of thing. And I feel like he's always, rather than kind of taking 4 steps back to get a few forward, he's always chasing it, you know what I mean? And he's never quite getting there. And I feel like he's going to be coming in here kind of over-eager, under-prepared, and his mind's not going to be in sync with his body. And I feel like that's going to be what the difference is. Now I've put in the work out here. It's time to switch off now, get my mind in sync with the body, fly back home tomorrow night, and go and handle business.
Yeah, Higo, he's interesting because he does have most wins by submission. You are known somewhat of a submission artist yourself,
Yeah.
but the game is different, right? Could you explain like the difference in game, like the ground game?
Yeah, he's got like he's got dangerous submissions, but I don't feel like his top he gets submissions off other people's mistakes rather than putting you into positions to force the submission. And that's what the difference is in our styles is. I'm going to put you in that position. I'm going to force you into the submission. There's going to be no other route for you but into the submission. And for him, he has to get me to make a mistake. And I very, very rarely make mistakes. Do you know what I mean? It's not to say that I haven't, but it's rare. I've got a very tight game, and it's hard to draw mistakes out of me to catch me. Do you know what I mean? So it's kind of the best way to do it would be to do my style on me. Do you know what I mean? But no one does my style better than me, so I can't see that happening.
And this is your second training camp in Bangtao. The first one was kind of a way of getting your footing here. Now you are fully ingrained with the team. You know what I mean? Like, how has this camp been different? I know this camp is also during the high season where it's like no rain, it's humid as shit. You know what I mean? It must bring out a little extra in you.
100%, man. It's quality. I feel like here it's just no training camp. It's just what you do. Do you know what I mean? You wake up at 7 in the morning, you get to the gym for 8 and training, starting by 9 or 10, and you're training for 2 hours in the morning. You go back home, eat, go to the pool, rest, stretch, recover, and you're back in at 4 or 5 in the evening, and you're training for another couple of hours. And it's just training's always fun. It's always learning. It's always growing. And then the boys push you when you need pushed. You know what I mean? But it's more skill based. And a lot of drill, a lot of technique, and man, I just feel like I've come on leaps and bounds. And Frank, Conor, George, all the boys here, Keith, Hyon, they've really got pushed me to my max and to be able to get me to reach my full potential.
Yeah, you know, you hear a lot of things through the grapevine about the coaches here, but it's different when you actually come and start to work with them and get to know them. You know, Frank and George, the guys that kind of steer the ship. How has it been just being ingrained with them and embedded in learning?
Well, the thing is about it was when I came here at the start, I was just speaking to George, and I was like, how does it work, blah, 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 what's the training? And he kind of said about 5-6 words to me about what he expects, what he wants, what he expects out of me, what he gives to me. And then after he said it, I just said, mate, I'm a soldier, just tell me what I need to do. And he's all love it, and ever since, he's just been telling me what to do, and I've just been following the script, and now I'm about to let it flow. I'm about to put that script at play. Do you know what I mean? And it's going to be good. It's going to be a special night, and we'll see what happens.
For sure. And you know, a new face, a new addition to your camp is Conor McBride, your boxing coach now. You know what I mean? And he's had a huge impact. You guys have gotten pretty close. It's someone you've known, right?
We weren't that close. We didn't really know each other. Knew all of each other very well because we have a lot of mutual friends. Okay. But we live like 15 minutes from each other, so we do. So it's nice to have someone from home, man. Do you know what I mean? Conor's now is one of my best friends. You know what I mean? And the man just puts his heart and soul into me, and in return, I put it back into him. Do you know what I mean? And anything he asks from me, I do. Anything I ask from him, he does, and it's a good balance, man. His skill, his mindset, and his work ethic is it matches my own. Yeah. And it's very, very hard to get that from coaches, and I'm very, very glad and grateful for him to be out here, and it's nice to go back home and do stuff in the hometown with the hometown boys. Do you know what I mean? And best believe it, we're going to fucking blow the roof off this arena in March 22nd.
Yeah, the boys are back in town.
The boys
right?
are back in town, bro. The boys are back in town, and we're going to make a statement. Do you know what I mean? And I know it's Conor's first big MMA fight as well, and we're going to make it a rememberable.
And no other better place, right?
No, than Belfast. You know what I mean? So Conor used to live there as well, and I used to be there a lot myself. So yeah, man, it's going to be good. The boys are back in town.
Yeah. And I feel like he's a perfect fit to the skill set that you have and some of the things that you want to develop and add to your game.
Yeah, it's like he's an expertise in everything that I need worked on. Do you know what I mean? There's just a few small little things that I haven't quite got that just happens to be his best aspect. And I'm very grateful for that. And it's good to have a coach out there to point you in the right direction. Shows you what you do good and tells you what you need to do better and shows what you're doing bad, you know?
So how do you see this fight playing out, man?
I see myself being too fast, too quick on the feet, picking him apart, making him frustrated. He's going to get slower. He's going to start to swing. Once he starts swinging, I'm going to make him pick his poison.
In that environment, that atmosphere that he's walking into, your opponent that's walking into, it's not the friendliest, and it's a place where it's hard to perform because mentally it can break you in some ways, right? Some people are broken by the moment.
It's where I thrive, mate. So this is where I these kind of environments is what I like shine in. Do you know what I mean? You can watch it if I go to fight in places that's not big against someone that's not known. I just don't shine out, do you know what I mean? Because there's no pressure. It's where I'm like a big diamond, bro. I'm like a VVS, so I just shine under that pressure. So I do. And I look forward to feeling that. And if he doesn't feel the backlash of the animosity and that kind of pressure, he's going to feel me thriving in it. So he's going to feel it one way or another, and it's either through me or it's through them. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? So there's no hiding from it. There's no running from it. And best believe it, I'm going to bring it full force.
Later that night, you get to sit there and watch Jeremy Kennedy fight Patricio Pitbull for the featherweight title. Two most likely opponents in the future. What do you think of that matchup, and how do you see it playing out?
I think it's a great matchup, but I just don't think Pitbull has that same ferocity in his hands like he used to, especially after cutting to bantamweight and stuff like this. I feel like it's took a bit of a zap out. You know, like the time he knocked out Mike Challenger and stuff, like that was at 155. I feel like since he's very small, he had that strong zip. And I just feel like that's going to be kind of out there. And if Jeremy can avoid that and get his hands locked and get to him, I think it's going to be a long night for Pitbull. So I do. But if Pitbull finds his chin, it's going to be the end of the night for Jeremy, and I'll be facing one of the other after it.
That's the game. That's the game. That's the game, man. You know, a couple more questions before I let you go. The first one, James Krause, man. I don't think I've ever asked you about the situation and how pretty much this is the reason why you're in Phuket, right? Is that situation. Could you take us through that process and how it impacted you?
Yeah, man, that was a hard kind of thing. And I just found out on social media like everyone else, you know what I mean? It's kind of like, I get painted for being like a mad kind of like crazy guy that's involved in everything and all this here, but for the people that you're like self and coaches here, they realize I just go to the gym, I keep myself to myself, and I go home and train. Do you know what I mean? Like I don't really be involved, or like I'm so much in the circle but so far out of it at the same time. Do you know what I mean? So these kind of personal ordeals, I don't be involved in the small chat or anything because I'm a bit tapped in the head, bro. Do you know what I mean? I just don't care about other people's business and whatever. So I was just waking up one morning to go training, and I seen this fucking thing on social media, and a few of the boys text me, they go, the gym's closed and blah, blah, blah. So I was kind of like, what the fuck's going on here? Do you know what I mean? But I also didn't want to be showing up to the gym and then now I'm involved or whatever. So I just kind of stayed away for a few days and kind of got retrained at a different gym, and it just kind of all came folding down. Do you know what I mean? And it was hard, man, because I had like some personal shit going on as well, and then the gym was taking me away from that, and it was helping me get through all that. And then the next minute my gym came down around me, so it was just, and I was coming off that patchy mix loss and stuff, so it was at a time in my life where I was just kind of like, is this even like possible anymore? Do you know what I mean? Is this feasible to do? Like, what I got to do to get back the coaches, the team, to the level that I need to be at? And at that time, Brendan Loughney was passing through Kansas, and I was telling him, do you know what I mean, all my shit that I had going on, and he was just like, man, you need to just go to Thailand. He was all, it's paradise. Frank over there is the man, George, all the boys, and he was like, it'll fit you into the ground. He says, beach, sunshine, there's nothing going on, do you know what I mean, just training. And I rang Bellator up and I was like, I need to fight, do you know what I mean, I need something to go for. So got the fight booked. They were like, all right, you're up in 11 weeks. Flew out to Thailand, me and my dad, first time here, got into the gym, and we just made it work, man. Made it work, flew over to America, and then 11 weeks later went and picked up the win, and now I'm back. Now I'm shining again, do you know what I mean? And I feel like I've got a second chance at this, and I'm very grateful for Bellator, and not only that, but like my mum and dad for like always believing in me and pushing me on, and always believing in me through them hard times, and making sure that I always stayed that course. And it could have been an easy, you know what I mean? It could have been an easy way to just go off, you know, and I didn't, man. I stuck the course, and now I'm thriving, do you know what I mean? And I'm really, really happy again, focused on training, and nothing can really faze me.
Was that probably the toughest time of your life?
Fucking by far, and even going into my last fight and all, do you know what I mean? It's just dealing with a lot, but time waits for nobody. These opportunities don't like arise every day, so it's like you don't get an opportunity and get prepared for it. You gotta be prepared for the opportunities that come your way. And Bellator, the fella in Bellator told me this. He was like, James, you just gotta be ready and park everything else that's going on, and be ready for what's coming your way, man, because it only comes around once. And you're lucky that I was young enough that it came around the second time, and that's what I did, man. I just got the head down, got ready, and now the opportunities are coming my way again. The money's coming my way, the fights are coming my way, and life's good.
Definitely, life is good. Yeah, the opportunities is definitely coming your way, and you know, all you gotta do is go out there and do what you do, like
yes,
you've done many times before. Conor, when's the last time you spoke to him, and is he coming back?
I spoke to him on Instagram about 2 weeks ago, so it was, and we're just talking about one of my friend's fights, and yeah, man, he's coming back. He's on about April. I think he wants April, but I'm sure it's a massive ordeal for him, do you know what I mean, to come back, and he's fucking got a massive billion-dollar empire going on, do you know what I mean? So sitting back counting all that money, counting every day's earnings, do you know what I mean, must be it must get in the way of this fighting cracking all the time. But if there's one man can do it, it's him, bro. And he's looking in phenomenal shape every time I see pictures on Instagram and stuff. So yeah, man, I'd love to see him back this year.
You know, when you have conversations with Conor, I mean, of course we know who he is, we know everything about him. If you're in the fight game, like what kind of words does he say to you, like when you are kind of, you know, low and you're going through that stuff with James Krause? Did you talk to him?
A little bit, yeah. Do you know what I mean? He just always reassuring me of fucking, he's got my back if I ever need anything, but I shouldn't need it. Do you know what I mean? I can just making me believe in myself that I can do it all myself. I don't need anybody. Do you know what I mean? And when you have someone like that, do you know what I mean? Someone that has everything and someone that has done everything, that tells you and reassures you that you can do that too.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? It's a wonderful thing, man. Yeah. It's better than any help. Do you know what I mean? Because it's easy. Do you know what I mean? People can help you through situations, but they can only help. They can't fix. Yeah. It's only you that can fix it. Do you know what I mean? So when you have words of encouragement from someone that has been through everything, has done everything on a much larger scale, giving you encouragement to do it all yourself and fix it yourself, it's like, all right, yeah, I'll fucking do that myself, man. No problem. Do you know what I mean? Watch me. Watch how I do this. Do you know what I mean? And look what I've done. And on March 22nd, I'm just putting another full stop to that chapter and on to the next chapter. Do you know what I mean?
There you go. Bellator 302 Belfast.
Yeah. Chapter 2 of the Jimmy Show.
There you go. Thank you so much.
Nice one, John. Appreciate it, brother.